everyone and welcome to KYETalks. I am Sonal Ambekar, your host for this interview. Know Your Entrepreneur is a digital platform where we talk to several entrepreneurs who tell us why they chose not to be stuck to the regular 9 to 5 and went ahead to do something different. They went ahead and changed their path. Two such entrepreneurs we will be talking to today are Mr. Ranjeet Singh Ramsinghani and Mrs. Baljeet Kaur Ramsinghani. They are the founders of R Square, a husband-wife duo transforming space since 20 years. R Square provides turnkey solutions in the field of interior designing, furniture manufacturing, and PMC services. Let's get to know more about R Square and this duo. Hello, Mrs. Baljeet Kaur. Hello, Mr. Ranjeet Singh.
Hello.
Hello.
So let's begin with this interview. So I'd like to ask Mr. Ranjeet, please tell us about your company.
Ranjeet Singh Interiors was incorporated in the year of 2001, and basically we have an existence in Pune, Mumbai, Thane. Recently, we've also started in Raipur and Ahmedabad.
That's 5 cities, 5 major cities.
Yeah, and basically myself, I'm Ranjeet Singh. I'm the founder and the principal interior designer in the firm, and she's Baljeet. She's basically a co-founder. And she looks after, is the business head. Yeah. So wow. She looks after all the parts.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in basically Ranjeet Singh Interiors, we started doing this interior designing projects in Ranjeet Singh, under the brand of Ranjeet Singh Interiors.
Okay.
And whereas we undertake key solutions and furniture manufacturing in R Square Design Studio.
Oh yeah. Okay. So the company's name is Ranjeet Singh Interiors, and R Square is a studio where all the designing and everything it's done. Okay. So moving ahead, I'd like to ask Mrs. Baljeet, does being an entrepreneur couple add to the value of your venture?
Yes, it definitely adds a lot of value, because initially I was not a part of the organization. I was working for some other company, but later we could realize that we both have our own set of skills.
Yes.
Okay, so like Ranjeet, a creative person, he is a designer and he can look after all the creative stuff. Yes. But I, being from the sales background, marketing background, I have a 12+ years of experience in business promotions. Yes. So hereafter, I can take care of accounts, marketing, digital promotions, client servicing, client communication. So we took a decision that we should both combine together, and we should try to serve our clients better, and this decision has really proved to be fruitful.
Right. So it was like merging the best of both worlds together and just having your own family venture going ahead. Wonderful. So, Mr. Ranjeet, I would like to ask you, what are the factors that give you a sense of accomplishment, that gets you going every morning?
The biggest feeling of accomplishment is like whenever you give a thought to the design, and when everything is on paper and it comes into you see that particular thing into existence, that gives us a kick basically. So that is the biggest accomplishment for me. And being a designer, it's like to see, it's really wonderful. It feels wonderful when you see your visualizations turning into reality.
Yeah, of course. And I mean, it's such a good feeling to, actually, when it's on paper, it's like, oh, this is yet to be done. But when it's actually out there, it's like, oh, this is your creation. You made this. No one else can claim it. This is your USP. Wonderful.
Yes.
So I'd like to ask Mrs. Baljeet, given the current pandemic, and it has affected a lot of companies, a lot of startups, a lot of even huge companies. So what would you say are the post effects of this pandemic? What would be the post effects of this pandemic once it all is done? So how would you feel it is going to affect, or it's going to leave a mark on your company?
So very truly, obviously, first 2 to 3 months of this pandemic were as difficult as they were for all other businesses around. But we were really disturbed. All the sites were on hold. Clients were disturbed. Labor was an issue that time. But later on, we realized that we can utilize this time for future planning. We can utilize this time for collaborations. We can utilize this time for networking. And then when we utilize that time for all these things, So when the lockdown was uplifted, it really helped us a lot. We were all full on hands with the further projects. Okay. So here I would also like to add one more thing why this pandemic could not affect that much, because Ranjeet is a person whose expertise is hospitals and clinics. And after this pandemic, hospitals and clinics were those clients that they were needing our services constantly. Right. So we were all after the pandemic also.
Right, because we after this pandemic made us realize how infrastructurally lacking we were and how we had to step up our game. So wonderful.
Right.
Yeah.
Rather, I would add one more thing here. Like after staying at home in the lockdown, there are a lot of clients who realize like what all are the requirements, what all are the upgradation required at their residence now. They needed a workstation, so we had good projects for residences also.
Right. I didn't think about this, but yeah, since work from home has become a thing now, and I think it's going to still stay. Workstation, having a proper workstation at home is a need of the hour, if not wrong.
Yeah.
Correct. So, Mr. Ranjeet, I would like to ask you, what is the biggest challenge for Ranjeet Singh Interiors after this pandemic, and how did you overcome the previous challenges, and how do you plan to overcome the challenges that may come?
See, the biggest challenge, what I think so is like, one was like clients wanted their residences and their offices to be upgraded simultaneously. Like just over the period of, after the period of the pandemic, they realized there are certain requirements and amendments to be made. Okay. So that was the basic thing which clients really started approaching us. Then the post effect was immediately like businesses were suffering and they were finding it very difficult for their time, and proper interiors needs to be in a good condition. Like they actually wanted good interiors. So this really helped us that they wanted that 100% hassle-free furniture manufacturing should be there, because like they were really worried this pandemic, people will come down to our places, majorly even societies and every other places were not allowing labor to enter in. So that's the reason we started with manufacturing of modular furniture. We came up with a concept of modular furniture. And like we actually gave them the thing, like we could finish up this particular thing in 40 to 45 days.
Wow.
So this really helped the client, and seeing into all the difficulties what actually should have been on-site manufacturing. So this really helped them a lot, and mainly even client appreciated that.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing.
So you used to get your designs made in R Square Studio, and then you used to deliver the finished product.
Yes. This is like entire furniture is manufactured in our factory. And thereafter, like everything is done, because it's like where it became very difficult for our laborers to travel everywhere. So like every labor is there in our factory. So we used to get the entire material manufactured in front of us, and people used to go with a medical certificate. Like our people are totally fit, and they go in the society and the client. Like this is, they only used to take 1 day to just for the assembly. So that particular thing was hassle-free for them, and we got a very good response for modular furnitures.
So this pandemic has really taught us new ways of doing things, and how these new ways are, we can get accustomed to these new ways, and how these can be really effective in certain circumstances. So,
yes.
Baljeet, I'd like to ask you, what do you think are the factors that will help you achieve your business aspirations going ahead?
See, the first most thing for any business to get successful is like we are very much clear about our goals and visions. So we as a couple and business partner, we are very much aware like where we want to be after 5 years and where we want to be after 10 years. So goals and visions are very much clear. And our motto is, first most motto is to give customer 100% satisfaction. That is what we try to deliver. And we try to maintain customer relationship. That is what again helps us a lot. Being truthful to our job, that is what we believe. We both believe into that. Time commitment and project management is something which is the need of an interiors industry nowadays, and we both are trying to upgrade ourselves each and every day. Okay. And these are some factors which has always helped us grow.
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful. So, I'd like to ask Mr. Ranjeet, what makes Ranjeet Singh Interiors unique and different from others? I mean, what would be your USP?
See, the first most important thing is like we understand the client's expectation. That is, proper need analysis is done. So like after that, we want that to what is the we expect what is the expectation of the client. So we do expectations setting for them, okay, and thereafter we give the client what exactly is in their budget, okay, and then comes this timely communication along with the completion of the project. So these are the factors, and very truly, to be very precise, I would like to add on that 80% of our project clients, okay, are like by the recommended from the existing clients or our past clients.
Oh, so references.
So, yes, that's and this is one of our biggest achievements.
So here I would also like to add on to something, like even though I am from the marketing background, but truly we have never done any marketing, any promotions for Ranjeet Singh Interiors till date. We have recently started, like you can say, showing our existence on social media, because that is need of an hour. But till date, we have constantly getting works and sites through recommendations of our past or existing clients. That is the biggest use I can say.
Wow, so it's word of mouth. So the quality of is so good that people recommend others to come to you and get work on. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
I mean, before social media was a thing, I think this was what made any business great. Word of mouth, the quality. When you get to know from a person who's availed your services that, oh, these people, give amazing services and the communication is good, they're cost effective, they understand our need and they give us exactly what we want. That is when people want to come to you. कि उनको अच्छा service मिला था, हमको भी चाहिए. Amazing.
Yes.
So Mrs. Baljeet, I'd like to ask you, since you're the brains behind, the functioning of R Square Studio and Ranjeet Singh Interiors, what would be the words of business for upcoming entrepreneurs? Because there are many entrepreneurs out there, budding entrepreneurs, I'd say, who have ideas, but they just don't know how to go ahead, or maybe they are too scared to take the risk. How would you encourage?
So here I would not like to add on to something on business principles or something like that. But yeah, what we can do in interiors industry, what I had been observing Ranjeet, that he is emphasizing on nowadays, and what people are actually liking and they are appreciating, is like I can request all the upcoming entrepreneurs to start emphasizing more on natural resources. That is one thing what we can do. So that is the reason Ranjeet Singh Interiors had introduced sustainable interiors concept during the pandemic. So we can use natural resources, you can recycle your furniture, you can use your old furniture, you can utilize the place with more light and air, very less artificial lights and all. So use of natural light and ventilation, use of local materials, and you can say use of existing furniture and product to contribute to the Mother Earth. This is what we both would like to suggest.
Wow, wonderful. So since you mentioned about sustainable furniture, can I ask, please give us an idea of what exactly would sustainable furniture mean? Because I think going ahead, because of climate change, and these are the factors that are going to really help our next generations to go ahead. So what is sustainable furniture and how can we, get them in our lives now? How can we make use of them?
I would answer this question to you. It's like a very simple example I would give you. See, any clothes or anything what is not used by you, or a footwear or anything, like what do you do? It can be donated to someone needy, right?
Yeah.
So it can be used.
Right. Yeah.
So if what we are planning, we make the entire furniture in such a way that it could be reused by somebody else, so that at least we could contribute in such a way that where less number of trees are cut for plywoods if we are saving in something. So again, another example I would like to add on if suppose you have a sofa, it's a basically it's like gone old.
Yeah.
One option is like you could reuse that particular thing by changing the fabric.
Right.
Or if it's too damaged or whatever, it can be even it could be a big thing for one of your like maids or a driver or anybody who is a subordinate to you and loyal to you. You would like to donate. This is what happened to me as well. Like once I just donated my sofa set to one of the persons. He was like, "Sir, believe me, I got this particular. I was just dreaming for this, but I could not get through. So this particular product could be a waste for you."
Right.
But it could be really useful.
Right.
So we came up with a concept like why should we make furniture which should be untackled?
Right.
Let's make it a way that it could be reused by somebody else.
Wonderful.
Or we can use it for the client itself.
Right.
This is what is the major concept behind it.
So here from business promotions point of view, I would like to add like if supposingly there is a customer who is wealthy rich and who would like to upgrade his house in every 5 years or 7 years, but he may not have budget to redo it entirely. So there we make small changes along with the same furniture and the look may be entirely new and more appealing.
Yes.
So that is again a part of sustainable interiors.
Oh, wonderful. I mean, as a concept, I think this is relatively new, sustainable furniture, or how you can, reuse the same furniture in ways that may change the look and feel of your house.
Yes.
So I say this concept is new, but I will say that this concept is not, you can say, it is not emphasized more by other interior designers and firms.
Right. So that is
more of like touched. Nothing else. It is untouched.
Yeah. So that is definitely the USP of Ranjeet Singh Interiors. I would like to tell our viewers that we will be linking down below the social media handles of Ranjeet Singh Interiors and Art Square Studio. Please go and check out their work. They're making their presence felt on social media, and we'd like you to go and check it out. Thank you, Mr. Ranjeet, and thank you, Mrs. Baljeet Kaur.
Thanks a lot
for sharing your journey and being a part of KYE.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity you gave. Thank you so much.
Thank you once more.